Welcome to the Human Energy series of interviews with the Chevron team. In this edition, we're joined by Sotiris Meklis, Regional Manager at Chevron Marine Lubricants. Welcome, Sotiris. You've had a long career in energy, so perhaps a good place to start our conversation is to talk a little bit about your background. Tell us about your career to date and what it is that you do for Chevron.
Thank you, Matt. As a young child, I wanted to become an engineer and work in the energy sector. Therefore, I completed a degree as a petroleum engineer in the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. And then afterwards, I pursued an MBA degree in the Indianapolis University. The majority of the career I have worked in the maritime industry, so I worked as a country manager with the different companies, and then lastly, for the last 10 years, as a regional manager in charge of the maritime lubricants for the South Europe, Africa, and Middle East.
And your role has expanded recently. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, it covers more in the northwest part of Europe. So I'm working now with more countries of the northwest part, with more customers. And not only of that, the port coverage is bigger. And for us, the aim and the goal is to try to get as much as possible closer to the customer. That means we have an extensive supply network. And my aim and goal is to support the customers having the right product available in the right locations. So we're working collectively with our partners. We have a different DAs, which are the delivery agents, and together with supply chain, we're trying to identify if there are any products gaps and have then the solutions to the customer.
So could you tell us a little bit more about Chevron Marine Products business? I mean, what exactly is it that you offer customers?
Our phrase, Matt, is to offer them solutions to their journey. So what that means in practice, we're trying to understand what are the customer needs, and then based on their needs, we're trying to find the solutions for them. Their biggest challenge today is to reduce their emissions. So for us, we need to have the right lubricants. The lubricants, they need to be compliant with the right type of fuels. So we're trying to offer them the right product, the right technical services, and be closer to them so they can mitigate and reduce the risk that is generated within those challenges.
How is Chevron tackling the challenge of the growing use of alternative fuels in the marine industry?
We are responding, Matt, by fixing and creating the right lubricants which are compatible with the different type of fuels. So that means we are not only working closer to the customer, but we are partnering with the engine manufacturers. So by having the right type of lubricants, then the customers, they can mitigate any risks on malfunction in the engine, and then at the same time comply with the different type of fuels. For us, we need to monitor the trends in the industry, so we're trying to participate in a new building construction that it is there. So we are following all these trends, and we're trying to understand, is there any gap and where we need to place ourselves going forward.
What would you say are the key strengths within Chevron that will help you tackle the future challenges of the marine industry?
We have an extensive chemistry and formulating capabilities that backed up together with the bench test. Matt, we can provide the right solutions to our customers. We have a global network of technical field specialists that can address those challenges to the customers, and together in conjunction with the engine manufacturers, we can provide the right solutions. So we're very proud on our product offering with the customers backed up with the right technical capabilities of our products.
And we've already touched briefly on alternative fuels. How is Chevron adapting lubricants that were developed for conventional marine fuels to the emerging alternative fuel market?
Yes, we have ongoing projects with the OEMs, so we share learnings today, how the alternative fuels are behaving, what we need to do in terms of the lubricants to comply with the new type of fuels. So today we have the right lubricants in relationship to the LNG as an alternative fuel, and not only that, methanol and biofuel. Recently, we have created a product, HTAX 9700, which has received unrestricted approval for the 4-stroke engines from MAN. So you can use that either with a distillate fuel below 0.1% of the sulfur content. So for us, Matt, there is a good collaboration partnership, not only with the customer, but the OEMs, and we're trying to share expertise and learning coming out for that. The idea is on the lubricant side to have the right lubricant for the right type of fuel going forward.
And there's a number of digital solutions that you offer customers of Chevron as well, including a new app. Perhaps you could tell me a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, have launched recently the Fast On Board application. This is a tool that it shows the performance of the engine of the customer. So the customer anywhere on board the vessel, he can run the oil monitoring system. He can receive the results within the application anywhere on the world. So what it does, it helps the customer to take any actions in case there is not a good performance of the lubricant. Thus, when he does that, it will speed up the whole process and it will help them to drive more simpler, more efficient operation, which in turn, as we discussed before, it will help them to reduce the emissions within the fuel. The second application that we have provided our customer is the One Port. That's another application anywhere in the world that they can purchase and do the procurement of the lubricants. That automatically gives them the simplicity and the speed. So out of those two applications, they can monitor the lubricant within the Fast On Board, and then at the same time, if they do see any issues, then they can place the order of the lubricants, and we're trying then and we're striving to provide them the right lubricants at the right place and then give them our technical expertise.
I'm thinking about the supply side. Could you give us an idea of the size of Chevron's operations? How many major ports do you cover?
We are covering more than 40 countries. That translates to a number higher than 700 ports. So we are trying to be next to the customer. We have seen the last few years the port congestion and the traffic of the vessel has become in certain areas bigger. So for us, we needed to have the right product in the right location. By doing that, we need to have the production facility of our products next to the ports. So for us, it is in our priorities to be there next to the customer, and specifically in those big ports like the ports of Singapore, Rotterdam, so New Orleans. So our coverage is global with a vast network, having the right expertise in the supply chain folks. They are close working with us to help the customer to drive to the right solutions to their journey.
And give us an idea, what are some of the typical challenges you face on a day-to-day basis?
My new role, it covers more geographical coverage. That means different cultures and different operating patterns. So my first goal is address those operating patterns, understand what are the needs of the customers. We have to be closer to the customers and provide the solutions for them. Overall, the industry, at the end of the day, they're facing similar challenges. So for me, I'm going to link them to the Chevron's idea is how to work together, providing those solutions and their needs, and have our customer technical expertise next to them. So by providing those solutions, these are the ones that I needed to focus on my role when I'm going to start.
And what's your focus for your newly expanded role? So looking at the year ahead, what can we expect? Have you got any interesting plans for 2024?
Yes, Matt. The priority for us within the Chevron Marine Products is to provide to the customers exceptional service. We have different shipping exhibitions within the year of 2024. The first one is in June in Athens at the Posidonia, and then the next one in September is the SMM in Hamburg. So we're going to be next to the customer, have an open discussion, work with them collectively. At the end of the day, we need to support them to reduce the carbon emissions. For us, as a lubricant provider, is to give them the know-how, give our experience, our insights, and then work collectively to that journey going forward. After that, we are running different technical seminars. One seminar that we are having in Turkey within March. So for us, it is imperative not only to give them the solution within the lubricants, but have with us our Chevron colleagues from the Renewable Energy Group, our PSATA colleagues from the different business units, and give them solutions for the energy transition in relationship to the renewable fuel, such as what we discussed before, which is the methanol, the LNG, the ammonia, or even the hydrogen going forward.
And what about new solutions for 2024? What can customers expect?
We're not trying, Matt, to reinvent the wheel. We're just going to continue our legacy, what we have built up together with our product and technology people on the lubricants from 2023. work more on the environmental lubricants, but then further build up on the legacy that we're the first one creating the Tara Ultra Advanced 40. We have seen a trend now from the customers switching more and more on the Tara Ultra Advanced 40. This is a category product that can be used with a new type of fuels. So for us, as I have said before, is partner next to our customers, help them in this journey together, because all of us, we are together. We know what are the challenges. We are feeling very comfortable that we can be a solution provider, having given them the right product at the right time. This is for me the goal. This is for me the aspiration for these businesses. And within the new geographical coverage, I will try to be next to the customer and help them to drive this journey together.
So it certainly sounds like a great year ahead for Chevron. All that's left to say, I think, is Sotiris, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's been a splendid discussion. Thanks a lot.